On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if Gen V does to college what the boys did to celebrity, if Daryl can his way out of the Moulin Rouge on The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, and if the taste buds can get to the bottom of what makes a good ensemble in the first shushy of the season. All that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. Hello, nerds, and welcome to the Superhero Show, the only podcast that covers every single live-action TV show based on a comic book. I am your host for the evening, Mike Gravano. Don't touch that die. I know I'm not your normal host. I'm not here to be professional. I'm not here to be Cassie. I'm not going to apologize for every little thing I say. I'm just here to tell you about comic book TV, goddammit. And we're going to be on this ride together, and it's okay. With me, as always, is Caitlin.
Mike, you went into old host Taylor's cadence. I'm going to be here. And I feel like you've got this, dude. You don't need to be a Cassie.
Ouch.
You don't need to be a Taylor. You can be a Mike, and I believe in you.
Can you do what you think Mike should sound like? Because I don't even know anymore.
I mean, if I just screamed like into the mic and like.
That's what you want? That's what you want from me, Caitlin?
That's actually what I want.
You want every listener to turn this off right away?
I mean, that's what we want, right?
I think my best, most authentic self is me trying to be Taylor and Cassie at the same time. That's the version of Mike people actually want to be around.
You are the best little fucked up little baby.
Thank you.
Of both of them.
Well, let's see if this guy has anything nice to say to me. It's Ryan.
Hello there, Caitlin and Mike. I'm here. Down here in the lobby, and I am here in it. You'll notice something different about me, won't you?
I don't hear anything different. That sounds like the Ryan I know.
You might not
be different.
You might not.
My favorite popper boy.
You might not just hear something different, but see something different.
He has a potato. Is it because you have a potato now?
You're holding a potato and wearing a large top hat.
That's all. Just I'm not holding the potato. That is my chips and weenies. I am naked, and I'm going to use the clout of this podcast to try out for the next season of Naked Attraction. I will be doing this entire episode totally nude.
How does it make you feel?
I don't love it. My flippy floppies are blowing in the wind.
Yeah, the twigs and berries are out there getting nibbled by the wind. Caitlin, do you know about the show Naked Attraction?
I don't, actually.
Oh, I think it'll be Caitlin's favorite show of all time.
It has apparently been running for 6 seasons.
Wow.
In England, I guess they're more permissive. These people, somebody's like, I want to go on a date. But actually, I mean, this is a stupid accent. British Ryan, please explain what Naked Attraction is.
So one person comes out, and they're like, I want to go out with someone, but I don't want to talk to them. I hear their voice or anything. So just show me first of all, their bottom half, and I want to see their vagina jeans or their pee-poo-to-poo-to-poos, and show them their genitalias. And that's all you get to look at and comment on.
Oh, and comment they do. They do not hold back. And you're like, oh, surely these people can't hear when they're being like, well, those are weird nipples. Caitlin, they can hear. They can hear everything. Should this just become a Naked Attraction podcast?
Caitlin,
Do you want to like comment on everyone's weird nipples?
They comment on everybody's weird everything. And then they're always like, all bodies are beautiful, but that's a weird vag, and I'm not going to go on a date with her.
But when they show the nipples, the host will literally be like to the main person, the person who is deciding on these bodies. They're like, all right, person, we've shown you all the nipples. Now you have to eliminate one of these people. Which of these nipples would you like to eliminate? And the person has to be like, well, those are the ugliest nipples. And then it reveals the full person, and they have to come out and just be like, well, this is the person with those nipples.
One person is fully clothed and one is naked, and there's a power dynamic. Clothes wins.
Wow.
But then, when they whittle it down to 2 people, the person who's been judging then has to be naked. And then the
Wow.
two people who have had to hear the shit talk all episode are like, now it's our turn.
Caitlin, will
now
you
we're
watch this
supposed to-
show and give us a review?
Please.
I actually might watch this show. Where can I watch this?
It's on Max.
You know what? I think this was targeted towards me. I've seen this. But I haven't watched the commercial for it. So, you know what? That was a really good commercial. I will be watching Naked what is it?
Naked Attraction.
Naked Attraction.
Also, neither one of you has said anything about my nipple color. So, what do you think?
I thought they were potatoes, so they're really nice and russet brown.
It's so weird how russet brown they are. And they have eyes, and that's disturbing. And one of the eyes has a writ.
And one of the eyes has an eye, and that eye is on you.
Well, listener, strap in, because this ain't your daddy's superhero show. Cassie is gone, and the cats, well, what rhymes with gone? Clown.
On.
Prawn,
Orange.
clown, orange. Tonight we are talking about The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Spider-Man and the Sting of the Scorpion, handing out the very first of the season shushies. But before all of that, let's get to the main segment in Gen V. This week, on the very first 2 episodes of Gen V, we're introduced to God You, where the best young supes go to college in the world of The Boys. We follow Mary
The
Moreau.
Boys.
We follow Mary Moreau, who grew up in the foster system after accidentally killing her parents when her blood kinesis kicked in at puberty. There on a scholarship, her plan is to keep her head down and become a crime fighter. But her YouTube star roommate and the popular kids, Andre Anderson, Kate Dunlap, Jordan Lee, and the golden boy of the school, Golden Boy, have different plans. Marie is sucked into the popular kids club and then learns about the dark side of the school with child experimentation, corporate ties, and suicide. Taste buds, I ask you this. What does Gen V add to the world of The Boys?
Caitlin, I'm going to let you handle this one first.
Oh, great. Thanks, Ryan. So we watched 2 episodes, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode, I feel like it was very much The Boys, where it was just let's throw in a penis here, let's do something crazy here, and I honestly, I was I don't like this show. This show's not good. The second episode, I feel leveled it out and made it more palatable and less disgusting to watch. So I don't know. I think it's a good, more level version of The Boys, but I don't know if I'm going to continue to like it.
Ryan, what do you think?
I hated this.
Wow!
I hated this start to finish. I found
my
this
God.
despicable
Despicable.
on every level. And can I, Mike, will you allow me? Is this the format for me to explain?
I'll allow you, and nay, I demand you.
I fucking hated this. I hated this on so many levels. Let's start with the whole thing of you're on that street, you're downtown in some city, and you've got the affordable restaurant and the unaffordable restaurant, and you're oh, but we only vacation so often. Let's go to the unaffordable restaurant. That's The Boys. I think The Boys is kind of a elite TV show, right? I think that it's up when it got nominated for Best Show at the Emmys, I wasn't that surprised. I do think it's it has the best writers, the best directors. I think it's very cinematic. I think it has the best dialogue, some really incredible ideas. And then I think we've been doing this long enough. We've been in the game. I call this the game.
Ooh, I like
this-
that. Can I call it the game?
I don't know. I don't know if you've been in the game long enough to call it the game.
I've been in the game nearly as long as you've been in the game, my friend.
But you've missed 2 of the last 4 weeks though.
All right.
So
in
that's
2 weeks, I'll call it the game.
If you could do 4 out of 4 weeks, then if you can be here the next 4 weeks. Wait, let me look at the schedule.
No dice.
Oof. Yeah. Sorry, Mike. If you've been in the game long enough, you can just tell that they're Amazon or whatever the streamer or the production company is. They're let's do less money, less time, less talented people. And that sucks to say, but they just did. They just said, no, we're not going to spend the money or the time on this lesser restaurant. And it just sucks. And you're getting a $6 steak instead of a $40 steak.
So
but you can just feel it.
There's a lot of metaphor here. I would love you to talk about the show. What?
Uh-oh. Mike liked the show, and he's getting pissed off.
No. But be literal at all.
Instead of bringing anything new to any conversation, it's old as shit and it's hack. So like everything that the boys brought to the conversation, this has literally nothing. So that's like the broad overall thing, all the way down to the grossness, where I always thought that the boys brought, and I know that Caitlin and Cassie thought that the boys always crossed the line in a disgusting way, like an over-the-top way. I always thought that there was a cleverness to the crossing the line. This, with our three main female characters, one gets a power by cutting herself, one gets a power by purging, and then our third, probably more supporting character, is a girl who convinces boys to do things because she just has that power.
She touches, if she touches them with her hands, instead of rogue stealing stuff, she can make them do anything.
She won't do it to girls, though, because she believes in that whole consent thing, but she does do it to every boy she sees. This is so written by 46-year-old men, it made me sick. All the way down to just, like, throwaway lines of dialogue where every retort was like, oh, yeah, eat me. Like, this was trash all the way through. And I would say that, like, we have to divide the shows that we watch, because we watch, even though they're all based on comic books, there's still, I think, a dividing line of like, let's be honest here, competently made shows and not so competently
and
made
sometimes
shows.
a show can cross that line.
Right.
The
and
Flash.
I would say this is a competently made show. And on that side, this is one of the worst I've ever seen. I could not believe what I was watching. They did not. They skated on the brand name here in a way that I was
like
shocked by.
Any of the disgusting stuff felt like, and I like the boys, the disgusting stuff. It did feel like okay, we'll show you a dick and a tiny girl pole dancing on a dick because that's what you think. But it really feels like it doesn't want to tell that story. It would rather tell. It felt more serious in a lot of ways, sometimes self-serious. They don't want to be as goofy or tongue-in-cheek as the boys. And so stuff like Cricket gets smaller because she pukes feels like, well, you're not doing the tongue-in-cheek thing and you're not actually saying anything. I think this is fully mid-tier. Of all of our run of shows, I put this stack in the middle of the 68 shows we've covered. Do you know why I liked it? I was like, I think this might be the boys that the girls like, because it focuses on women more. It's not as gross out, which I actually never realized that was part of what bugged them. I always thought they were like, it's about bad men.
Hey, girls,
No,
you purge and cut yourself. Don't you like this more?
Fuck off. That's not what I was saying. You know that's not what I was saying.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Mike.
But it's, I don't know. I think there's stuff to latch onto here. I'm interested in the mystery of the school. I like generally living in this world. I trust these people enough that maybe they'll figure out their rhythms. But this is the downside of, no, this is week to week. I was going to say the downside of binging is they don't have time to fix and learn. But maybe it does.
I think I would agree more with Ryan than Mike.
You're allowed to. Don't look nervous.
I don't like the boys anyways.
Yeah.
But this, I felt like the second episode tried to redeem it a little bit more. But that first episode was, with Ryan, it was disgusting how like they treat women.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I saw in the boys. And then this is just even more apparent.
Which is funny because it does feel like it's the folks behind the boys being like, you know what? We've heard the complaints. We can do it.
Well, this brought in a big CW guy.
It felt CW for good or ill.
I kept thinking, like, does this remind me more of? And I'm on the 500th episode, the email episode, we talked about CW, and there were some people on that show that maybe you guys know that I love most of the CW shows. This felt closer to Gotham Knights than The Boys to me.
Ooh.
Of try hard bullshit, fuck Batman, or I guess the Titans than The Boys to me, of just like try hard. We've seen shows before. We've seen how women are on like Gossip Girl and Titans, and so that's how we'll write them. And the clearest thing to me, like the thing that really sunk the flag in for me, if that's a phrase, I don't even know if it is.
It is now.
Is Chance Perdomo. I'm gonna rewatch Sabrina.
Oh,
And
Ambrose.
Ambrose.
I'm going to give Sabrina more credit because we watched that show and we were like, "This Ambrose is wonderful. He's the best part of this." And then watching him here, he's not half as interesting. We were like, "Oh,
a charming accent."
Yeah, what's his real accent? He's one of those. Is it like let him be British and let him be real, and maybe his acting can unfurl, or maybe he's actually American. Fuck that, give him an accent, and then we'll want to watch him.
Here it felt like he was doing a Trevor Noah impression, but like on Sabrina, it felt like this guy is out charming all of the scripts.
Yes.
And now after watching this, I'm thinking Sabrina knew how to write for him in a way that I never thought I would talk about Sabrina like that, because he isn't half as charming here as he was on that show.
Who, if there was a character or an actor to cling to, who is it for you guys right now? Caitlin?
That's so hard. I guess Marie, because she's a less like tainted person.
And
This
I think
whole
Jess
jazz.
Sinclair, the actress, I believe that she can hold down a show.
Yeah, which she's the lead. So if there's one person to have, like,
Yeah, that's the important one.
That's a good pick.
glad she's got it.
Ryan, do you have anybody? I'm forcing you to pick somebody.
I am intrigued by, although I do think it's a little forced by, is it Brenda?
Jordan Lee.
I'm not sure what exactly their power is. Is it switch on command, or is it switch when they use their power?
It feels like when they get hurt, they protect that body by switching to the other one, and that negates everything. And like so many of them, they're like telekinetic and pretty strong.
Okay.
So they're also super strong.
But I kept going towards the want to be college student. Like, I really just want to have a normal college career, want to have a college lifestyle of the shrinky person. Mm-hmm. What's her name? Cricket. But was also caught up in the my power is by purging, which is only something that you would find in a show that's based around a college.
When she was like, oh, it's painful, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Bring in some X-Men stuff. And then, when they showed why it's painful, I'm like, this kind of sucks. I think she's charming, too. I think that actress is fun. When she is freaking out, because Marie was freaking out, and she's like, and they're all brand names of the superheroes, but she's like, I don't know, I have beer, I have vodka, I have weed. Give me an hour and I can get the hard stuff. Like, that line, I was like, I kind of just want college kids to be normal college kids with superpowers.
Again,
not the after-school special stuff of it.
If you talk to a college kid, these are all college kids based on watching movies of college kids from 1983 and how they're acting. When the show finally lit a spark for me, it was with about 10 minutes left in the second episode, because Marie, Jordan Lee, asked Marie to tell the truth about how they actually fought against Golden Boy.
So Golden Boy, who is the king of the school, says it in its name.
Do you see that Golden Boy's actor's last name?
No, what is it?
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Patrick. Is this Patrick Schwarzenegger?
Yes,
It is.
he is. That's why he was familiar.
He's the Golden Boy of the school. He's going to go places. He's going to be on the 7. He gets told that. But there's obviously deeper stuff going on. He kills his mentor. Then Marie walks in on that, and he's like, well, I can't let you live. And then Jordan Lee, who's hated Marie, jumps in because Marie kind of panics, and Jordan Lee saves her ass. But because of the corporate, and this stuff is what does work for me, and we get Ashley from The Boys, and I love this actress, who's just like, a transgender Asian superhero, not going to play in Missouri. No. We're going to put, do you know who Missouri can deal with and will feel woke? Our 2 black kids were there, and they killed Golden Boy to defend the school. And now, Ryan, go back in. Jordan Lee does what?
I love leaving this all up to Missouri. Hey, Missouri, you are cool with black kids? Okay. You're not ready for trans kids. Good to know. But you're now in 2023 good with black kids. Thank you, Missouri.
They got there.
Thank you for letting us know that you're good with that. But now Marie, our main character, has a choice to make. Does she tell the truth about the trans superhero, or does she lie and take this opportunity that she's given to explain that does she lie and say that she was the one that defeated Golden Boy?
Right.
and we have a choice that a character is making. And that was the first time the show was interesting in 90 or 100 minutes of watching it. And that's not a good sign for the show.
Well, the main kid, who we thought would be the main kid, made a choice and killed himself.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm just saying it is a choice. That's Gen V. We're going to go week by week. But first, moments of this week. Caitlin, what do you got?
Oh, gosh. I guess it is just. No, this whole thing just sucked. It was so hard to find a good spot.
Moments of
Ryan,
the week can
you
be
go
bad.
first.
We often
Okay.
forget that.
Yeah, seeing a wiener on screen for so long was just so awful. With a tiny little girl on it and her just stepping on his balls and slapping his balls.
Listeners, it's like 12 seconds tops. Don't worry about it.
It's like Borat. It's swinging. No, just kidding. But no, it's just. I was just like, what is this fucking show? It's ridiculous.
I cannot wait for Caitlin's impending review of Naked Attraction.
Yeah, she just doesn't like genitalia existing. Ryan, what's your moment of the week?
I have two, Mike. My moment of the week, my good moment of the week is Clancy Brown, who has this contract where he just comes in for one episode per show, all shows.
Yes, for every
Does one
show,
episode.
known to man.
Clancy Brown is the aforementioned mentor / professor who does get burned alive, but he's just always there to be like, I seem good, but I'm bad, and then dies, and then just moves on to his next show. He will just like go from studio to studio, walking down Hollywood Boulevard.
Here's the
and
thing
be
I
like,
do.
and
I
then,
could do it
like,
on your show.
you guys, it is 3 p.m. I'm going to need you to kill me because I have to be on another show at 4:15. My bad is, and like, fuck, I understand the difference between characters that are supposed to be disliked and bad characters. And this fucking social media guy on crutches, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. I wanted, this guy comes in and he's like, oh, hi, black girl, hashtag black power, yes, queen, hashtag black girl, black guy. Oh my God. I wanted to rip my eyeballs out. I wanted to shove my thumbs into my eyeballs.
He is the difference between, I do think the boys hits old, is it Zaz? Is that what we call the airplane guys?
Yes, the Zaz brothers.
The
Zucker
boys
brothers.
hits the Zucker brothers level parody, and this guy felt epic movie level. But like, no, we get your fucking joke, guys. It's not that clever.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mine, two, one, there's a fight, and so Golden Boy, all his stuff burns off, and somebody goes to punch him and accidentally just punch him right in the fiery dick. That's going to make me giggle every time, guys. And then there's another character who is like an actress, and she has like clout, and then she wants to become friends with Cricket, and it actually seems like she's cool. This is the one time the show surprised me. And no, she just learned Cricket's secrets, and so to quote unquote empower her and other women, she just tells everybody that Cricket has bulimia. And that show, I was like, you fucking jerk. The show got me.
That's unbelievable. There's another part. Sorry, Mike, real quick. What's his name? From Ambrose from Sabrina. Figures out that his dad knows where something is, so he and the girl with the Jedi powers, they pull something out of a statue's wiener.
Yeah.
He just knows that it's in the wiener, and she's like, well, that's Freudian. No, like these writers have seen an episode or two of The Boys, and they just know how this works. Like,
Listeners, Gen V is on Prime week by
Should
week.
be Gen D with all the dicks in this.
Caitlin,
should be
Smashing.
genitalia V for vagina.
that is so interesting that you bring that up, Caitlin, because off air you were talking about a website you have. I don't really remember it, but what was it?
Yeah, it's not dick pics. It's where you can see like fake wieners, just like the ones we saw in that Gen V episode. And it's just like a running list of shows, movies, and everything where you can see like lots of fake wieners. A lot of it's just Game of Thrones.
It's like Mr. Skin, but this is to warn you that this is coming, not to titillate you.
But no, not real wieners, though.
No real wieners here.
Hashtag no real wieners. What's the name of the website?
Woodenwiener.org.
Woodenwiener.org. I believe in this and you so much, hashtag girl power, that I want this website to succeed. And so I'm going to send you to my friends at cybersprout.net. It's designed specifically for WordPress, which I know we all know how to use. They have design experts, so people will the words will pop up and make them see these fake wieners. They're well-versed in digital strategy, elegant design. They're going to focus on collaborating with you so everybody knows where these wieners are. They're going to provide you the tools and training you need if you want to manage and tweak yourself, or they handle it. They offer premium hostings built for WordPress. Now you can focus on your website while Cybersprout handles the security, maintenance, backups, and speed optimization. Visit cybersprout.net to get those wieners out there. Cybersprout, your partner for Digital World. We're going to take the quickest of breaks, and when we come back, it's shushy season. It feels like it was just yesterday, because I think it was just 8 weeks ago that we wrapped up the shushies. But because we have 80 awards, it's time to start off this year's shushy season. And we're starting, as we always do, with Best Ensemble. Caitlin, what does ensemble mean to you?
Ensemble means to me, it's just a group of people that are on a show that you want to just hang out with and do their job so good that you're like, these people are real. I like them, and I want to be there with them. And I think that's what makes a good ensemble to me.
Interesting.
Just real.
Because there's definitely great ensembles that I'd never want to hang out with because they're all terrible D-bags.
No, I only want to hang out with my good ones.
Like the Friends cast?
Like the Friends cast.
Those are pieces of shit.
I would murder every friend. In real life, too. Ryan, now, can an ensemble, do you judge them by their highest heights or their lowest lows or somewhere in between?
You know, I've switched on that, Mike. I think it's an incredible question.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for my point. Do we not do that here?
No, we don't do that. That's the other show.
I think that we should stop giving stop taking away from ensembles because of the weakest link. Because that way, that would mean that people would start hating me and Caitlin because you're on this show. You know,
you are loving that. There's no points on this show.
There's no points. I can say whatever I want.
Oh wait. I just read future in the script. There will be points, my friend. Oh yes, there will be points.
But no, I think to me, ensemble is from the French ensemble, which means salad with radish.
I like a bit of a radish.
Saumonier, too, so wine, too. It's a good meal.
Salad with wine dressing. Pour a bottle of wine into somebody's salad, and you fucking run.
Toss that?
Because they're pissed.
Enjoy it. Oh, I thought you meant blah, 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 the boy-style salad. But no, you mean a lettuce salad.
Do you mean eating butthole?
Yeah. You pour a bottle of wine, right? You pour Chianti. Go, Ryan. What's next? Let's talk about this year's ensembles.
Your first nominee for Ensemble of the Year, Caitlin, is Ben Wong and Yan Yan Yo as the Wong family, Jimmy Liu and Daniel Wu as the Sun family, and superstars Ki Hee Kwan and Michelle Yeoh in American-born Chinese.
Woo! This ensemble, love them all. Again, would love to hang out with this family. Or if not, just people from this TV show. This show always surprised me, and I think it was just the superstar actors that were in it and all of them together. The way the dynamics they all had with each other, the family, just hit so well. So very deserving. I'm glad that they're nominated.
I think it's such a hard needle to thread to hit the tone of this show of being goofy, but you still need your drama to hit drama. Kid actors versus adult actors, and yeah, as an ensemble, I think they crushed it.
And I do believe that the show was entirely cast before Everything Everywhere All at Once won every Oscar. So
nice, they lucked out.
Good on them. Mike, your next nominee, Diane Guerrero, April Bowlby, and Michelle Gomez star in with their faces. And then the voices of Matt Bomer and Brandon Fraser in Doom Patrol.
I mean, this is a longtime superhero show favorite. These are the best of the best. And I don't have the stats in front of me, but it would not surprise me to know if they won or got silver medal every year that this show has existed.
At least multiple nominee, yeah.
At least multiple nominee. The most surprising thing, just the way this show works and time works, that I can't believe that this show has been on recently enough to count in this year's Shushies.
Yes, it was a long time ago. It was 11 months ago, but it does barely count. Mike, keep it going for Deep Breath. Here we go. Kaylee Cuoco, Lake Bell, Pop Filter Hall of Famer Alan Tudyk, Ron Funches, Diedrich Bader, James Adomian, JB Smoove, Christopher Maloney, Jim Rash, Tom Hollander, Rachel Dratch, Pop Filter Hall of Famer Andy Daly, Giancarlo Esposito in Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that is, one, we goosed it, but we didn't know they would be Pop Filter Hall of Famers, but if you want to be hired in this show, you should probably be in our Hall of Fame. And yeah, these are some of the funniest fucking people out there, man.
Caitlin, can you pick one MVP from the show?
Oh, that's so hard. God, who's Bane?
James
Adomian.
James Adomian.
Yeah.
Okay, he's fantastic, but also Ron Funches. So those I'm going to pick two. I love them. They're just kind of side characters, but honestly, they're all good. I can't pick all my favorite babies.
I think everybody's Chris Mahoney.
Well, I was going to take Christopher Maloney.
Christopher Mahoney.
Mike, who's your other one besides Chris Maloney?
I think, given the stank I had based on the Priceline commercials, and I guess to a lesser extent, The Big Bang Theory, I did not know Kaylee Cuoco could hold a show the way she does, and I do think this show would work as well without her Harley.
Oh, you like the person who plays Harley Quinn?
I might be a bit of a fan of Harley Quinn.
Whoa.
You would know if you ever looked at my calf.
I will never look at your calf.
Why do you always say that to me?
Mike, can you tell me about the actors whose names are as follows? Joe Locke, Kit Connor, William Gow, Yasmin Finney, Toby Donovan, and the only time Olivia Colman is nominated tonight with Heartstopper.
Man, she should be nominated every night. This is a great ensemble, and I guess it's good we talked about, can your weakest link pull the ensemble down, because
it's right where my mind went.
9/10 of this cast understands.
Wait, are you shitting on the actor or the writing?
It's hard because it all just blends together.
What's his name again?
Beanie Boy. It's not Beanie. I can't. I
Did we
block
already
him out
forget?
the minute. Yeah, I block him out the minute that show's done. No, I think he overacts, but maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's the writing, because there was that scene, and I know we've talked about it before, but him and Nick were sitting next to each other and talking. I was like, whoa, I actually like this guy. So maybe when he's not asked to be emo and big and broad, he's not a terrible actor. But yeah, that is hard. But no.
You have to agree, though, this season was his best season.
It's only been 2 seasons.
Okay, yeah. First season was very unbearable with him.
Most improved character.
Yes, that's what Coach's Award he gets.
Caitlin, can we think of somebody, one of our friends that we know who's emo and big and broad? Is there anyone we can think of who's like that?
That's so hard. I can't think of one
hate you,
person
Dick.
Just one?
whose name starts with an M and ends with an E.
Okay.
Me? Shit, I still fell into it.
All right, Caitlin, this is so weird because Harley Quinn, those are all cartoons. This one might be different. Alice Lee, Ishmael Saeed, Daryl Brown, Joel De La Fuente, and our new Clark, Jack Quaid, on My Adventures with Superman.
Oh, yeah. This one, again, another great ensemble that is animated, and I can't even pick my favorite. No, I love Clark. All these people work so well together. If we have a side mission between Lois and Clark, if we have Jimmy and Clark, and you throw anyone together, it's going to be a good episode. And I don't think we had one stinker of an episode. And I think it's because we had just such a strong ensemble here.
Yeah, I think, Caitlin, when you said to throw anybody together, that's a sign of a good ensemble. That it's never going to crumble a plot line, because these two actors together carry it.
We talked about this all season, too, but, like, when I said the Harley Quinn names, those are all of our favorite comedians. Like,
yes.
Literally our favorite. Like, that's fucking 1927 Yankees Murderers Row of our favorite comedians. This is voice actors. They went for the best voice actor.
Voice actors and a Nepo
rare.
baby.
And then, the one, Dennis Quaid's child, who should be fired.
But no, you know what I love about Jack Quaid so much? I think it's been documented on the show.
Because he's such a Nepo baby.
He's such a Nepo baby. But I think he knows that, and then he works hard. I think he grinds and elevates because he's like, I can't let people just think I'm a nepo baby. I think he elevates every project he's in.
How do you think Dennis Quaid was as a daddy?
No, not there. Terrible.
No, yeah.
I guarantee you.
Check out the movie Frequency where he abandons his boy, and I bet it was similar to that.
Movie.
I bet he's like, I'll talk you through the ghost radio, Jack.
That's a movie that you can't rewatch because the other star is, I think, Jim Caviezel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when he speaks into a radio, and now it's like, hello, Jesus. Hello, Q. It's me, Jim. Yeah, Dennis Quaid was a terrible father.
It was one of our 5 DVDs as a child, so we watched it so many times.
Well, we are the 3 people on this earth who have seen that movie.
With a lot of times. We've all seen it a lot of times. That should be a new question. Instead of asking what 5 movies would you take to a desert island, it's what 5 movies did your parents own when you were a kid. But yeah, I do think that I love the fact that they didn't hire a bunch of stars. I love these talented voice actors together. Ladies and gentlemen, your movies or your TV shows are American Born Chinese, Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn, Heartstopper, and My Adventures with Superman. And we have not, this is our first Shushy of the year, so I should probably let everybody know that we had less than half of the shows this year that we normally have. So these are going to be your 5 nominees for every award. Like, this is it. Let's get used to these.
These are the ones we liked.
One more time.
And that we're good.
American Born Chinese, Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn, Heartstopper, and My Adventures with Superman. Caitlin, what are your feelings? Where are you getting vibes from?
Fillers and vibes. I'm gonna say our winner is animated.
I think that's good.
Is that right?
I think that's a good call. I feel like that acting is definitely going to break through to 2 dimensions this year a lot. Mm-hmm. Mike, where do you think?
I agree, and I think we love a new kid on the block. My guess is My Adventures with Superman.
And your winner is...
Oh, you can feel the tension.
Ooh.
It's palpable.
That was a big envelope.
It's such... There's still more. It's Harley Quinn.
Oh, wow.
My Adventures with Superman, you will have your day in the sun, but it is Harley Quinn's time.
And
Harley
when it has its day in the
Quinzel.
sun, it'll get so much more powerful, Ryan.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not a red sun.
Ooh.
God damn it. He landed in Russia, so instead of being Mom Pa Kent's son, he was a red son. He was a Russian son, but also red son gives him a different power than a yellow. That's so fucking clever.
So good. I love the comic.
Mike, you should probably take the show back before I keep
That
talking.
is, yeah. No, you see what you got to do with this. That is the Shushies. We will be here again the next 75 weeks with more awards each week. Now, the quicks and breaks, and when we come back, it's time for every other show that came out this week. It's time for the pull list where we cover every other show that came out this week. We got a light load. So your first and last show is The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon.
On this week's episode of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Daryl and Isabel negotiate with the owner of the Demi-Monde Club. Taste buds, I ask you this. Is Daryl Dixon a good name for a Walking Dead colon? Like if your colon came out of your body and was walking around, but it was dead. So your colon was The Walking Dead. Would you name that Walking Dead colon Daryl Dixon?
Yeah, God damn it, Daryl Dixon, get back in my body. Yeah, I think so.
You tried it out.
Back on my butt.
But Caitlin, try out a different name for your Walking Dead colon.
I feel like a name that starts with a G, like little Gerald Jeebers. Gerald Jeebers, get back on my behind.
So you want double G's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I thought you were going to say Gerald Dixon, so I'm glad you did a new last name.
No. Gerald Jeebers, obviously.
I like Gerald Jeebers.
Gazoot Jones.
GJ.
Lisa Loeb.
Lisa Loeb.
Lisa Loeb.
My butthole's name's Ryan.
Mine is too.
Did you hear that?
Crazy.
The showrunner of My Name is Earl is coming out with a new show called My Butthole's Name's Ryan.
Get a new shtick, guy.
No, he's gonna roll. He's gonna keep rolling with this. His butthole won the lottery.
Lucky butthole. The Walking Dead: Daryl Dixon is on Sunday nights on AMC. when we come back.
Spider-Man!
Time. Welcome to Ask Tasmania, bitch, a mini show within the show that covers the seminal and underrated cartoon of the mid-90s, Spider-Man, the animated series. On the sting of the scorpion, Jameson's obsession with destroying Spider-Man has hit new heights as he hires a man named Matt Gargan to try a new scorpion suit made in the laboratories of Empire State University. But the mutation of the suit begins to turn Gargan into a monster, and the show starts with Peter and Felicia walking down the street, and she says, "This is not the direction I want to go." And he says, "But I thought you lived this way." Not understanding what she was saying.
Hold on. Is this a Parkerism? Is this a Spider-Manism? Or is he a fucking moron?
I think he's a fucking moron. Or, because she says, "No, I don't want us to start dating," because it's in media res. They were clearly having a conversation, and he's being willfully obtuse.
Or, yes, is there the third option? Oh, God, she doesn't want to date me, so I'm going to, as a joke, be willfully obtuse just to avoid the conversation.
And I don't like... I know we've all talked about how we don't like this version of Peter much. When she's like, "No, I don't want us to start dating." His retort says, "But we study together all the time." Bro, what?
She straight up, under no uncertain terms, says, "You do my homework for me." That's what you do.
That does not mean we get to have dinner or do things physically together. And it's either stop doing homework with her or accept the situation. You can't be like, "Stop friend zoning me."
Most of my relationships have started because I'm an incredible tutor, but that's because of my farting. Like, I'm a tutor.
Right. You're the best tutor I know. Where was that Cinemax series? The Tutors, all about Ryan and his farting family.
That's why he's my butthole.
Is that a reference to my Walking Dead colon?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, it is. They get distracted because some creep is following them, who runs away anytime Peter turns around to look at him. And so...
Wait, hold on. Are you saying this guy's bad at following people because he is 3 feet away from them?
Yes.
And then every time they turn around, he's like, "Whoa, God, no, but
and
no."
like hides behind a lamp pole, even though he is wide. So Peter just starts sprinting after the guy without saying anything to Felicia. So she thinks, she's like, "I don't want to date you." So he just disappears into the night.
Yeah, she's like, I can't ever think of you as a boyfriend. And then he's like, "Well, better chase this lead because that other one's not working out."
Well, before texting, before cell phones, ghosting meant you disappear immediately.
Instantly. And say what you will about Peter, he's a pussy hound. So he can't get Felicia, so he's going to go after the pussy who runs away every time he gets looked at.
Also, MJ is working out somewhere. Can't he go over to her house?
MJ is at Aunt May's house coming over for dinner.
They've met, and he's still like, "Nah, Felicia." Is it because the version of MJ was the cartoon Snaggletooth? Is that why he's not into her right now?
There was a couple of scenes, couple of cells, I guess, because where her face was melting off. It's fine.
It happens to the best of us. While Spidey is after this rando guy, explosions start exploding, and we get, I think, the first Fantastic Four reference of the series. Because he says, "If those explosions were accidental, then I'm the Human Torch," which doesn't even really make sense. It's fire. You could make a better fire pun there, Pete.
I mean, are we here to give this particular version of Peter Parker knocks on every line of dialogue he says? Because
every line.
I feel like we've been harsh on this version of Peter Parker when really we should be harsh on every version of Peter Parker because there is no filter with Peter Parker. Most versions of Peter Parker's lines of dialogue, it really is first thought, best thought for all PD Parks.
Right. He's not running the material again until he gets his Type 5 that always works.
No.
It's definitely quantity over quality for him. Always.
Yes.
And this one, particularly in the beginning of this episode, he just doesn't fucking stop talking. It's like quip after quip after quip after quip. And, some of them did hit, but a lot of them didn't.
Caitlin, as somebody who's on a podcast with me and Mike, is that annoying?
I don't know. I feel like we are all the Peters of Parkers.
We are all the Peters of Parkers here. So explosions turn into people are shooting rockets at him. He sees them, and he's just like tick-tocking on his web. But then they try to punch him, and he tick-tocks out of the way again with their fist, and then he just sprays them because they're normal people. And he's even like, "Where's my freaks at? I don't want to hit normal goons. This is boring."
He's like, I will be a pinata, and you can't even get me.
That is sort of a superhero thing, right? Like, doesn't Superman and Batman, all of these superheroes, don't they sort of want the overpowered, costumed guys? Because, like, these are just normal humans.
Yeah. What a drag.
But, like, no, if you punch them, doth they not
die.
bleed?
Doth they not bleed out of every orifice? Or as Caitlin says, out of their Ryans? We cut to we're at the Daily Bugle now, and JJJ is pissed because Parker will not tell him how he gets the pics of Spider-Man. And even Robbie's like, come on. And then we learn that Jonah is the one who sent the creep Gargan after him because Parker always gets the pics of Spider-Man, so he must know Spider-Man. Therefore, I'll send a stalker.
I cannot connect those two. How could Parker get the things of Spider-Man? There's no way to connect that. We must hire the weakest-willed Ross Geller of dudes named Matt Gargan to stalk Spider-Man.
Matt Gargan got a total glow-up, even though we're never going to see the Scorpion in the MCU, even though they teased us, but he got a glow-up when they cast the dude...
Nacho from
Nacho. When they cast Nacho.
Yeah.
I forgot that Matt Gargan's actually supposed to be like a schlubby, pathetic Ross Geller, and not like a badass gangster.
Caitlin, in the MCU, he's played by a character from Better Call Saul, which is a TV show. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I've actually never heard of it.
Yeah.
You would love it.
But it does sound like a really bad show.
No, it was good. It was good.
But I never heard of it.
It's just one of the best shows in the history of television. That's not what we're here to talk about. Parker.
Mike, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if we're here yet. Should I just ask the question?
Yeah, just ask the question.
Spider-Man is listening to J. Jonah Jameson and Matt Gargan talk.
Yes.
Outside the building.
Yes.
And then suddenly he's inside the building. I know a fair amount about Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. What is the power that gets him from inside the building from outside the building to inside the building in milliseconds flat? He has
spider phasing?
He has hundreds of powers. What is the power that gets him from that to that?
Well, there's no Kitty Pryde in this universe, so He just sometimes has her powers. And then when he says, "As for you, prune face, get off my case." You hear? He rhymes and calls Jonah prune face. Don't hate that, because he's also like, "Hey, regarding," and this is the smartest thing Peter's done, is he threatens Jonah. He threatens Peter through Jonah. He says, "If I see your Parker kid on me again, I'm going to beat the shit out of him." And now J. Jonah Jameson's like, "Oh, they must not be friends."
Also, Gargan comes at Spider-Man. Gargan's like, "I'm going to get you." And Gargan, fucking, you're such a little... And Spider-Man goes after... Like, he throws, 3,000 pounds of webs and books at him. Like, he does not let off.
So, right before this, Peter talks about how much the web fluid actually costs, which apparently is a lot. He's like, "You're making me waste all my very expensive web fluid." And then we see him just completely fucking jizz the shit out of this guy with all of the web fluid that he has. It's like, you make a choice, guy. Are you balling on a budget, or are you excited that you just made like $10 off these pics?
Speaking about that, just before that, Spider-Man does some dazzling things with his wrist, and then pulls back his wrist, and it's covered with the white goo. And Mikey has a little bit of white goo on his wrist, and then he kisses it. Mm-hmm. You ever done that? Kiss the little sticky white goo that's on your wrist after you've done a good job?
You got to.
You have to give it a little...
When you do a good job, you got to celebrate somehow. After Spider-Man leaves, Jameson takes Gargan to the neogenic recombinator. And yes, did I rewind 3 times? Because what a crazy phrase to throw at kids. There's a lot of science that they throw at kids specifically in this episode.
Hey, Mike, can we pull the curtain back a little bit?
Yes.
Cassie was supposed to host the show.
Yes.
And then you so valiantly said that you were going to host, even though that was absolutely your job to do. And so then all of a sudden you go from casual Spider-Man episode watcher to host of this show. And then you have to be writing down.
You take different kind of notes, Ryan, and I watched this 3 days ago.
What is it called?
But I did write this down. The neogenic recombinator.
You have to know that this is called the neogenic recombinator.
And then the Dr. Sitwell Stillwell, which is the name of Stillwell.
Stillwell, which is the name of the little baby from League of Their Own.
Yes.
Stillwell Angel.
Stillwell Angel.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Dr. Stillwell says, I chose to use a scorpion because it's a natural predator of the spider. That's why I designed your suit this way. I like the poeticness of this doctor.
It was good. I like that. It was like 10 points to this guy. He knows how to use the noggin. That's for sure.
A Hitler mustachioed tabloid owner pitches to you, hey, change your DNA to hunt Spider-Man. Do you do it?
If you're Gargan, you don't seem to have a lot going on up in the brain area. So,
I think all these people found each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's ever asked, because he gets made fun of a lot, if he's gonna garganeling these balls?
When I heard Caitlin say Gargan like that, I was like, oh, Mike's cooking something up.
So he becomes the Scorpion and just instantly starts hunting Spider-Man. And Jameson hops up in a Daily Bugle helicopter. This guy thinks he's out to catch some news, but no.
The DB one.
Oh, or did it say J3?
Oh, yeah, no.
J3 on there?
It's not even Daily Bugle. It is the J3.
They go back and forth. Maybe Daily Bugle is his print media and J3 is his news channel.
It's branding.
I think that's what it is.
And he's not only is he watching Scorpion and Spider-Man fight from the helicopter, he is then trying to tell Scorpion what to do via the little earpieces everybody wears in these shows.
Which he is ripping off. He's like ripping the microphone from the helicopter pilot's helmet.
Why does the helicopter pilot have the link to Scorpion?
If I was that helicopter pilot, and this is why I don't have my helicopter pilot's license, I would, after one time of that, I would say, fuck this, and I would crash the helicopter into a building immediately.
If you fly helicopters, you have to deal with billionaire shenanigans. That is in the fucking job description.
No, I would take a gun out, and I would shoot the back propeller, which everybody knows makes it spin like crazy if you've seen any 80s action movie, and I would crash that fucking chopper.
Landing it is out of the question.
Of course. No, I would not land it for anything.
For anything. Scorpion seems to think that he's supposed to be the new superhero in town, but he's a little erratic because he's Matt Gargan. And anytime he tries to go for Spidey, he just keeps knocking giant chunks of building directly at innocent bystanders.
Hey, Mike, couple things. Real quick, couple things. If somebody says, hey, I'm the new superhero in town, that's probably not it. Probably not. He's probably not giving superhero. Number two, I'm going to be the new superhero in town, and you can tell because I'm going to shoot high corrosive acid at buildings that, will fall on innocent bystanders.
Also, can we just talk about how Spider-Man figures out that he's probably not one of the good ones when he feels like he's not really into quote-unquote male bonding?
If you're not into male bonding, then you must be bad, right?
You're obviously not very good.
I think I've been bad my whole life, though. I can't think of a worse evening than male bonding. Dude,
okay, podcaster.
Is that just the millennial version of male bonding?
Also, should we talk about the fact that, like, in New York City, the city's so nice they named it twice?
New York City.
Home of Pace Picante?
Oh, get a rope. Maybe not every bystander is innocent. Like, I bet that tower probably fell on some bystanders that aren't so innocent, and maybe we're about to pour some highly corrosive acid on other people. Like, that tower that fell on some of those bystanders were probably about to kill some other innocent bystanders.
Yeah, there's some Kendall Roys down there. There's some dirt bags.
So
he knocks down in the fight the water tower, and this washes Spider-Man out. Because
wait, hold on. Yeah. Are you singing a song right now?
Well, that's clearly the inspiration for this scene.
Was that in the credits?
Yes.
Co-written by
whoever wrote that. And then Scorpion's just sitting there gloating, and J. Jonah Jameson's like, what are you doing? Just unmask him. And then it's a sloppy show for kids. But the messiest, he just starts to go back, ah. It is not clear until later that it's the genetic stuff is attacking him. And Scorpion says, "You never said this would happen." But we don't even know what's happening because it's messy animation.
I do have some information for you guys.
Please share it.
Because apparently all of this Fox shit is bullshit. This was supposed to be the second episode that was aired. It was supposed to be a continuation of the first episode where there was a lot of wonky shit going on, where you try to turn yourself into half reptile, you turn yourself into a full reptile. And like what happened to Kurt Connors in The Lizard, this is what was going on with the Scorpion. That's why there's no MJ. That's why that the Felicia Hardy relationship was weird. This was the second episode.
Well,
And then the Lizard episode was the one where Aunt May sets up the fact that she
Yes.
knows MJ.
Correct.
so this was
And wanted to
another.
introduce
That makes sense.
Got it. Makes
What-
lots of sense.
What I like the out of
And that's why he
orderness-
was wearing the same sweater.
There we go.
Oh.
What I like about the out of orderness is because now this is 5 episodes later, and this Dr. Sitwell says, "Oh no, Connors was right. You should never mess with your
Right.
own DNA. The nuclear chain reaction has gone too far."
Although, I feel like people were saying that when he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go back to the nuclear reaction factory." And what he wanted to do was full on Gilligan coconut it, right?
Yeah.
Like, if the Gilligan coconut gave me amnesia, then if I do it again, then I can get reverse amnesia.
Uh-huh. Well, Matt Gargan's the kind of guy who thought Gilligan's Island was a documentary. Why didn't the documentarians ever save those poor people trapped on that island?
If Gilligan's Island had, like, what do you call them, takeaways, where they just sat down, the people on that island, and they were like, "Oh, man, we've been on this island for so long, and I'm a little bit hungry," that would have been a better show.
Yeah. Should we
Yes, we
reboot
should,
Gilligan's
Mike.
Island and it's
Hey,
in the style of
cut
The
this.
Office?
Producer Dave, cut this. We're redoing that show, and this is our idea.
Caitlin, you in?
Yeah.
Man, she hasn't been listening to us for the last 10 minutes.
I love that
Kate,
idea.
Caitlin, tell us about the flashback we see of Jonah's background.
Oh my God. Okay. So, actually this happened when, Peter threatens,
Yeah, we get a glimpse.
Yeah, Peter threatens and we get a glimpse, and then we get the full story of what actually happened. But I don't think we get that till later, right? I don't know. Whatever. What happened is we get the story of what happened to Jameson's wife, Julia. So all J's here.
Come on.
J4, really. And she was killed by a crime boss because he was following a crime boss. The crime boss threatened him. He didn't take it seriously. So the crime boss came to his house and tried to kill him, but instead got his wife.
But what's the most important part of this? They use somebody in a mask, and that's why he hates
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Because anyone with a mask is bad.
But, like, that's, like, patently stupid.
Yes. It is patent. We see how stupid it gets by the end of the show. But so they're fighting, and radiation made it this way, like you said. At a certain point, Scorpion punches through a wall, and it sets the bad shit off in the nuclear reactor. And then Spider-Man...
Scorpion's just looking for radiation
Yes.
because he heard the word radiation
Yep.
once, and he was like, yeah, that's what made me it, so give me more of it, because more of it clearly will cancel out, because I heard a negative, and a negative makes a positive, and that's what I want.
Bro,
If
it's
I
in
if I
DNA.
put a radiation tube in my right ear, it will come out my left ear, and then I will be good.
Yeah. There was a lot of, like, Gargan just, like, not understanding, and it was like, I don't either, Gargan, but I don't think that's the answer.
But at this point, Bill Nye or Beekman's World style, Spider-Man just tells the kids who watch the show legit how a nuclear reactor works. Why? Why do this? Why slow down this fight scene for this?
I think that it's important for Spider-Man writers of past and present to make people know that Spider-Man or Peter Parker is one of the smartest people in the Marvel Universe. Is that important? Because
Yes.
it's important to know that Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is scientific, but also he's the kind of guy who will also say, hit the red button. It's always the red button.
Yes.
Which is,
Yeah.
that's not scientific, but that's the kind of thing that Peter Parker will say. I don't know.
No, I like that. You know what? That's a good argument because I was just like, did somebody just learn whatever the '90s version of Wikipedia? Somebody went down a rabbit hole in nuclear fission, so they're like, "Well, I'm going to put it in the script." But that's a good in-universe reason for him to do that.
But like, that's why I love when he hangs out with. I think it's awesome when he hangs out with Reed Richards because like he's learning. But I love when he's hanging out with Johnny Storm because he's like Johnny Storm's always like, "Shut the fuck up, you nerd! I'm going to hit you."
In the scuffle, Scorpion is crushing Peter, and J. Jonah Jameson says, "Oh, you're a greater evil, and heaven help me, he's the only one to stop him and save Spider-Man."
He kicks Scorpion. Gives him a good old kick in the shins.
Only to get a bonk on the head from the tail. J. Jonah Jameson takes a bonk on the head.
Bonk in the heads can hurt.
Yeah.
And he's somebody who seems like he's been bonked on the head one time too many.
I'm going to give you both one right now. Tell me what it feels like.
Don't. It feels like a bonk. And if I get a bump and I press that bump will show up in a different part of my head, Ryan.
All right, I don't want that.
Then they taunt Scorpion until he gets so mad because we've learned Gargan doesn't like being made fun of, and then he gets electrocuted, and then the big red button gets hit.
This is the part where Gargan realizes not just that he's the villain, but also a cartoon character, right? Like he's like, oh, he's making fun of me. I have no choice but to do things that only a cartoon character would do.
I have to run in place for 5 seconds to build up my speed and go after him. Spider-Man goes to shake Jonah's hands when all things are settled, and he says, "I guess things will be different between us now," which does make sense. And JJJ slaps that hand away, and says, "Things will never change."
Which is the most... regardless of what year he was born, J. Jonah Jameson will always be a boomer to me. Like, he is the definition of a boomer.
Yes. For sure. And then, before we actually get out of here, Felicia almost hits Peter in his Peter suit in her car and says he has earned a lunch date by ignoring her. Healthy, Felicia.
Can I just say that, like, there was no Transformers in this episode. There was no yeeting in this episode. I thought this was, like, a perfect episode of television. Like, this was the most well-written Spider-Man episode we have seen so far.
And it was supposed to be number 2, so they got worse?
I would say the rest of them were number 2 compared to this one.
It is time for our Spidey Awards. Caitlin, what is your best web zinger?
You mean the Webbies, Mike?
The Webbies.
The Webbies. For my web zinger, it's we open up with such a good one where Felicia is talking about how Parker knows everything basically about some science stuff. And he's like, and complimented something about radiation. He's like, "I guess I simply glow on the subject of radiation. I don't know why. It must be in my blood." As like he winks at us. And I'm like, oh my God, fucking.
That's pretty
I had
good.
to listen to that 3 times because I was like, that's just
too golden.
It's too gold.
Ryan, what do you got?
This could have been a winner for another one, but I chose it for the web zingers. It's who do I look like? The Tick?
Yep.
In that vein, I really like when he's on the phone with Aunt May, and she says, "It sounds like you're catching a bug." And he says, "I certainly hope so." Because he's trying to catch a scorpion.
Which is such a weird thing to say to your aunt.
Yes.
Like, we get it, because he's Spider-Man, he's trying to catch the scorpion, right? But, like, to say to your aunt? That's
no
weird.
filter. He has broke brain.
He's always on a sitcom.
Ryan, I'm going to give you 17 points.
Oh, thank you. That's honestly more points than anyone has ever scored in this game.
Well, you know what? There's a new sheriff in town. Next, we're going to go to Kung Fu Grip. Ryan, what do you got?
I have what is called Roast Punch. Oh, I remember what it's called. Why I wrote that. Roast Punch is where you roast the scorpion so hard that he has no choice but to punch you, and then you grab his tail and electrocute him.
That's a good one. Caitlin?
I don't know how your brain put that together, but you did that. Mine is just web fluid. It's a hot topic of this episode, and we just get a good old schmackery of it.
Good old schmackery. That's just not a move. So Roast Punch is going to get 4 points.
Well, he has to flick the wrist to,
That is a move.
He does that a lot. There's not a specific time.
He talked about how much it costs. It's a lot.
What's the most 90s thing, Caitlin?
Most 90s thing, it's gotta be radiation. radiation's fucking hot as hell right now, and and no one understands it except for Peter. But we can't understand Peter when he talks about it because it's just too scientific.
That is like, look, it's 1993. There's radiation over there. Let's just get to it. Yep. Whether you have like a disease or a popcorn bag, let's just go there.
And either way,
it's like radiation. This is a good type. This is a good radiation, actually. You want this.
You got to look out for the bad radiation and avoid that. Ryan, what is your most 90s thing?
Mike, whether you are cable or bank robbers, you have a fucking shoulder cannon. You have a giant white gun that you can shoot at Spider-Man. And even though he can gently tick-tock around it, you have a shoulder cannon.
Shoulder cannons are super 90s, but I don't know if you caught that radiation is hot as hell right now, Ryan. So Caitlin gets 22 points.
Woo!
New York is a character. Ryan, is it?
Oh, yeah. Of course it is, Mike. And I wrote this down. Spider-Man is telling jokes, like insulting Scorpion, and Scorpion says, "I knew I should have never left Brooklyn." And I was like, hell yeah, we know what that means. Should have never left Brooklyn. Because Brooklyn's in New York.
Brooklyn's where it's safe. Where a bunch of dumb Matt Gargans live.
Fucking Matt Gargan, you piece of shit. Have you ever seen a Jerry on this show so much?
No.
Everyone was like, "You fucking Matt Gargan, you piece of shit. You get the fuck out of this room."
Caitlin, what is your New York as a character award?
Mine it's the water tower. The water tower is just a staple of New York, and
every building has one.
Yeah,
we got to see it. It fucking crumble. We got to see it take out some civilians. Spider-Man. It's a good one.
Why
water tower?
There's water everywhere. Why does every building need one? Hey, Mike, I had an HM.
Not a drop to drink. What is your HM?
At one point, Spider-Man says, "I think he's trying to save something stinky," and he's like, "Why can't anybody ever rob a bakery?" And I figured, like, does New York have a bunch of, like, even though everybody like pisses on the streets and shits in the rain gutters? Because New York is like the stinkiest city ever. There's just so many like good smelling bakeries.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah,
that's where the birthplace of the Cronut, my friend. Get up at 5 a.m. Have that. It's not worth it.
Nope, it's not. The bagels are fucking good though.
Bagels are pretty good. Cronuts are good too, just not 5 a.m. good. Nothing is. Tabulating. Caitlin, you get 8 points for the water tower. Does anybody have a mystery note award? It's okay if you do not.
I don't think I have one. This award is bunk. We have to think of a new one.
We all understand our notes too much. I think we didn't realize how much X-Men broke our brain because 80 plot lines were happening every second.
Yeah.
And so that's fair. Maybe a new award. Looking at this, Ryan got 35 points. Caitlin got 34 points. Oh, it was neck and neck, but Ryan takes it down.
Can I give a speech?
Speech, please.
In
your speech, can you please weave in websites people should go to?
I have so many people to thank, but first and foremost, I have Caitlin, who did an incredible job in the Spider-Man segment, but not like a 98% good as job of me, but not as good as me. Mike, obviously, for giving me the amount of points that I so wholeheartedly earned. And then popfilter.co for like always being there for me, for giving me the home base of operations that is always there for me to like give me the podcast that I need and the articles that I want. And Jesus, popfilter.co/Amazon. That is like where I go to like get not discounts for me, but discounts for them, like to give them the shekels that they need. And then there is also other websites like...
what was it, Caitlin? Woodenwieners.org?
Yep, woodenwieners.org.
But like, wieners, another word for wieners is wood. So like woodwood.com is also there.
Wood?
But no, woodenwieners.org. If you want to see all of the fakest wieners in Hollywood history, woodenwieners.org.
Thank you, Ryan. Caitlin, a rare silver medalist speech, and you must weave in other shows.
I want to thank Ryan first because he said I was like 98 degrees, and I do feel like the Nick Lachey of the group, so thank you. He said 98, like something.
That is true. He did say 98.
He said the word 98, and all I can think of was Nick Lachey. And so I took that as I am the Nick Lachey, so thank you. And I have to weave in something. What did I have to weave in?
Other shows.
It's crazy how when Mike talks, you forget about it 5 seconds later.
I really do.
That's no. It's not just Caitlin. It's everybody.
The year, hear this. The year, not 98.
Hear this.
73.
What do you know about
The year is
1973?
1973, and I was what a year a fragment of someone's imagination.
Caitlin,
but
were
what
your
was
parents
great
even
was
born then?
movies. Yes,
They were
they were 10 years old,
cool.
little babies.
Were they
But-
already fucking?
No,
Your parents were already having
not.
sex at 10 years old.
no, I hope not.
The 70s were crazy, bro.
70s were crazy, bro.
Wild. And you know what? I wouldn't know anything about that, but you know who would? If everyone who listens to Movie of the Year, and me, because I listen to Movie of the Year because it talks about all those good ass movies that are not all good, just, a lot of movies from 1973, and you'll get to hear which one's good and which one's bad if you go over to Movie of the Year. And there's some experts on there that talk about it. And some of them might be in this room.
They're behind me, aren't they?
They're all behind you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Ryan, rebuttal, and we've in social media.
Rebuttal. Caitlin, I would say that the people on Movie of the Year are actually dipshits. And are pieces of shit, and I would say that they know nothing about movies. But the people that do know about movies are on Instagram at YourPopFilter. So why don't you follow that shit unless you're a fucking racist. Are you?
No, I'm not a racist because I already follow.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Or other social medias.
Blue sky. Nothing but blue skies.
Yeah.
Nothing but that one blue sky.
I'm sorry, Mike. What is the follow order at bluesky.media.social.
At popfilter.bluesky.thisisreal please.go.here.
So follow that. I feel like you've been rebutted.
Caitlin, rebut to his rebuttal, and weave in our email.
Ryan could be your colon if you go to our email, contact@popfilter.co, and you ask for it very nicely. You say in the email, subject line, please, and then subject, make Ryan my colon, Daryl Dixon.
That's your sign off.
And we'll understand.
Hold on. At our company store, if we could make a little thing where you put it over your colon and it's just me. So you could film me with my mouth open, but it's just shit coming out of my mouth. And you could record that.
So these are
So just like
undies with the
butthole
hole in
panties.
it? Yeah, exactly. Butthole
Yeah.
panties. See, I was trying to be long about it. You got right to the meat of the bone. Butthole panties.
Right to the hole in the butt. Right
So this
there.
is a thing that already exists?
No, I don't know. This is my favorite alt 90s band, though. The Butthole Panties.
Did they sing my favorite song, Jägermeister Blues?
Yes, they did. That is all the time we have, but please join us again next week with the return of Loki, mysteries unravel in Gen V, and Spider-Man goes up against Kraven the Hunter. For Ryan, I'm Caitlin, for Caitlin, Ryan, for Ryan, enough said.